Hi, this is Ehsaas Chana and you're watching me on Spotlight with Smriti. I had like one kissing scene in life. I like the fact that everybody is shipping us. And I remember also going to Sushmita Sen's house to bond with her. Every time I meet him, I'd ask him to take me under his wings only.
Hello, Namaste, Adab. I'm Smriti Sharma and I welcome you to another exciting episode of Spotlight with Smriti. Today we have with us a very special guest. She made inroads into the hearts of the audience as a child artist with her talent and cuteness, and later went on to become a social media sensation, a viral content creator, and an actress whom everybody loves. And now she's the latest OTT sweetheart. Presenting to you the versatile Ehsaas Chana. So hi Ehsaas, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So Mismatch 3 is out and everybody is loving your role of Vinny.
Yeah.
So how did it come to you and what was that one thing that you absolutely loved about the character?
You know, it started off as a guest appearance in second season of Mismatched. Guest appearance keh lo, cameo keh lo, jo bhi, matlab, was sort of like one scene and none of us expected it to get the kind of response it got. Like it was just like it was like for 4 minutes of screen time and people really loved the character and just the track. And it comes at a very pivotal point in the show where you see Anmol's character soften a little bit for the first time, because you see he's I don't know if you can use the word, but he's an in the show. In the first two seasons, he's ridiculous. He has anger issues. He's sort of an antagonist of the show, but then you see a soft side of him and you see a vulnerable side of him, and that's actually because of Vinny, my character in season 2. So none of us expected that, and I think the response that it got, which is why it made writers write a different arc for her, elaborate this character a little more, elaborate both the couple a little more. So yeah, and I love the fact that it's getting so much attention, it's getting so much love. Not just Vinny and Anmol, but just my individually as me as an actor, and that character basically is getting a lot of love. I'm very happy about that.
So there's also a lot of maturity that your character has in the series. While every character is kind of trying to come of age, but Vinny has this certain thera, that certain understanding with her scenes with Anmol, where she's even disappointed a little, but she's not showing. She's taking care of the situation. Ki, okay, let me not hurt someone else's feeling. And for that, you need to have that control on your own. So how did you approach that? Kaise, matlab, you are so young. How did you bring that maturity?
I don't know. It's actually written only that way. We just performed how it's written. It's beautifully written. I think her character is somebody who's very sensitive, who's very emotionally intelligent, and she also goes through anxiety in the show. So I think that maturity probably comes, like Vinny's maturity comes from the fact that she has anxiety and she's gone through a tough time in her life, so she understands and she has a lot of empathy for others, especially Anmol. And so that, like, which is why, like, she goes through that turmoil of like emotions where she's like not able to understand if it's out of sympathy that she's dating Anmol, or it's because she really loves him, and that's not an aspect that she actually considered. But I think it's all, the entire credit goes to the writers, and obviously like then we read it and then we try to do justice to what is written on paper. So, yeah.
There are also a lot of intimate scenes between you and Anmol, between the character of Vinny and Anmol. And how did you approach that when it came to you, when the script came to you and you got to know that there are going to be certain scenes like that? What was the first thought?
My first instinct was to not do it. I was just like, nah, I can't do this because I've never done this in my life. Like I've had like one kissing scene in life, and that was like a very short one. Nobody watched it also. Like very like this is, and I knew that this is going to be on a big scale and everybody, and it's on a hit show. I know that everybody's going to watch it. But more than that, it's just that because I've never done this, so like it just comes as a like, oh God, kaise karenge? But then as an actor, you like taking challenges, and at some point I knew that this is going to happen, like because I'm an actor and we have to do this, is a part of our job. So then I grew to become excited about it, and then it's also with Taaruk, because Taaruk has been my friend, so there's a sense of comfort with him. But yeah, I think we spoke about this a lot, like Taaruk and I remember before we did all these scenes, we spoke about it enough to not feel awkward while doing it. But yeah, everything was just like it. You know, these scenes are smooth when your co-actor is also as comfortable and makes you feel comfortable and is superb. So which is why this worked completely great with Taaruk.
Okay. Was there also an intimacy coach for you guys?
Yes,
for these
there
scenes?
was.
Yeah.
There was someone who was taking care of everything, who was guarding all of it. Yeah, so there was.
Okay. And while Mismatch 3 was being talked about, there was also one thing that was talked about a lot, which is you and Taaruk. There were rumors that you both are dating. What was your reaction to those, and what do you want to say about the rumors?
Hilarious. When we saw posts of us dating, we just sent it to each other and we were laughing about it. Because we are very close and we go long back. We've done another show together in 2021 and we spent a lot of time together. So like I know that he and I have that kind of bond. And because our chemistry is so good on screen and just like in general, it's just like when we are, even because we are friends and we're like, we hang out so much and we have that kind of bond, it just goes to show that we are like romantically involved, but that's not true. It's just very funny. But I like the fact that everybody is shipping us. So I don't want to break that, and I want to like, hey, it's possible, okay? Because he's single, I'm single, so it's possible. So don't stop shipping us. But no, that's not happening for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Apart from Vinny, you had another very beautiful character this year, which got a lot of love, Shivangi in Kota Factory. This year especially, because the character arc over there also. And I wanted to know from you that working with somebody like Jitendra Kumar, who's so established and, you know, he's so popular, but you kind of overshadow him, you know, when it comes to Kota Factory. When we talk about popularity, you are being talked about more than him. How was your experience of working
I
with
don't
him?
think that I overshadow him in any way possible. I think that's not happening because he's so popular and he's so loved by his fans and Kota Factory fans. So when you hear of Kota, you also like immediately go to Jeetu Bhaiya. I don't think that's possible. That's true, but I mean, yes. But the fact that my character gets a lot of love, I'm actually very grateful of that. Again, it goes to the entire credit goes to the writers because they've written such a beautiful character like Shivangi, and I think she works this well, and she stands out because she's so different from everybody else in the group. She's the most confident one. She's the most sorted in her head. She knows what she wants to do, and she's the coolest out of everybody in the group. So I think that's what people really like about her. And I like her because she's so far away from who I am as a person. I aspire to be like Shivangi. She's so cool, she's so badass, and I want to be like her, which is why I love her so much.
That is lovely. Now, Ehsaas, I want you to jog your memory a little and go back in time. I think you were 5 years old when you did your first movie as a child actor.
Yeah.
Vastu Shastra with
Yes.
Sushmita Sen.
Yes.
How was that experience? Do you have any memory of that time?
I have a few memories and they're very faint because I was actually 4 when we shot for Vastu Shastra, and it came out when I was 5 years old. But yes, it was my first film, and I think for any child actor, for someone who's 4 years old, to get that kind of experience and work with Sushmita Sen, I think it's very rare. I am very, very grateful for that. It also taught, it's made, like, because I've grown up on set, it's just made me the person I am today. And but I remember a lot of workshops before the film. And because I was 4 years old and it's a horror setup, so just because it's a horror setup and I was 4 years old, it shouldn't affect me, in a bad way. So I was constantly told that this is makeup, this is costume, these are fake ghosts. So I was very comfortable in that environment. And I remember also going to Sushmita Sen's house to bond with her, to get that mother-son chemistry out. So I remember going to her house, playing with Renee, her daughter, and just like all these things. I remember my bond with her was also quite beautiful on set because she was so loving. And yeah, it was just a great experience, to be very honest. Like to be able to start with a film like that at such a young age was very insightful, and I learned a lot of things.
Okay. And you were also loved for that cute little boy that you played in Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna. How old were you back then?
I was 6 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm sure, but you knew that Shah Rukh Khan and Preeti Zinta are superstars. So were you excited as a kid that you were getting to play their son?
Yeah, I don't remember the day when I figured, or I was told that I'm going to work with Shah Rukh Khan, Preeti Zinta, Rani Mukherjee, Abhishek Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan. I don't remember that day. It's just I remember just being with them on set and being very excited and happy. And all of them were so nice to me. I was so pampered. I was so loved on set. It was again a beautiful experience for someone again 6 years old working with such legendary actors, with Karan Johar on such a big scale in New York. It was just fantastic. I had a great time.
Okay. And are you in touch with any of these, and or have you met them recently?
I've like met Karan Johar 2-3 times at different parties, and I think I'm in touch with Karan Johar. That I think I'm very privileged to say that I'm in touch with him, and he's such a sweetheart. He's the biggest director. He's one of the biggest directors of our fraternity, and he's still so humble. He's so welcoming. He will talk to you, and the first time I met him was actually early this year only, and I was very nervous. I was thinking that probably he doesn't remember me, and he was the one who actually started the conversation by saying that Ehsaas is here and I've directed her in my film, and just like he was the one who initiated it, and I was just so happy about the fact that he remembers, and he just doesn't remember, but he also acknowledges the fact that I've grown, I'm still acting, I'm still an actor, and all of those things.
Okay. Karan is also somebody to take people under his wings and then mentor them. So has there been any career advice, any projects that we can see?
Every time I meet him, I ask him to take me under his wings only.
Okay.
All the time. Like, I think there's no other conversation only I've had with him. So I think he's also bored of me asking him to take me under his wings again and again. But he's always been very welcoming. He's asked me to meet him and all of those things. So I'm just like happy that he's again just like entertaining me. So yeah.
Okay. Tell me, do you think that because you have been a child artist and been in front of the camera before you started out as an actress again as an adult, has that given you an edge?
Has that given me an edge? Maybe. I don't know if that's the reason for my edge. I don't even know if I have an edge. But if I do, I think it would probably be because of that. But what I can say is that I have definitely grown up on set. I have learned a lot of things. I have worked with really good directors, and really I've been around actors. So I've never been to an acting school. My mom's actually taught me acting. She's groomed me as an actor. But then at the same time, the way I've learned acting and worked on my craft is just being on set. Just growing and practicing and just keep working. So I think that is what has, I mean, there's still a lot of learning to do. There's still a lot of work to do. But till now, till all these 25 years, I have been on set and I've always worked. So I think, yes, it's definitely made me the person, like it's completely developed the personality I have today. It's because of that.
Okay. But I would also like to talk about the fact that not all child actors become successful actors as they grow up. But you have constantly been in the limelight. You have constantly been there. People have known you. People know you as a child actor who has now grown up and doing amazing content. How did you stay relevant? Or were there challenges during your journey which you had to really overcome to be there and continue doing the work that gives you satisfaction?
I honestly feel like the fact that when you say that child actors are not successful, I don't think that's true, because whoever has tried and has continued to work are successful. The ones that you're talking about are the ones who stopped acting. There are so many people, like my fellow child actors, who wanted to act only as children. They didn't want to grow up and become an actor. They wanted to do different things. And I know this, I've seen this. Like I know Swini Khara, who the Chini girl.
Yeah.
She grew up to not become an actor because I don't think she wanted to become one. So she had different plans. She did different things in her life. I mean, there's Gibran Khan, who just did Ishq Bishq. He's also a child actor. I'm there. There's there's a few of there's Darshil Safari, who's doing theatre now and who's done a couple of films now. So it depends on every child actor. So the way we've stayed relevant, I stayed relevant, is doing constant work. Because from bachpan se, I always wanted to become an actor. I always wanted to grow up and become an actor only. So which is why I continued to do that. But for some people, it was not the plan. So they stopped and they had different things and they did that. That's what I think it is. I've not really thought about it too much, but I think this is maybe what it is.
So tell me, what is next for Asastra now? Spill some beans about Mismatch 4 maybe, Kota Factory 4?
I don't know about Mismatch Season 4 or Kota Factory, but I know that there's Season 2 for Half CA. That's a show that I did for Amazon Mini TV. We finished shooting for that. I think post-production is almost also done. So yeah, that is going to come. So you will see me on promotions for that now.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Asas, last one. What would be your advice to youngsters like you who want to make it big in the entertainment industry?
I think it's just as cliche as it sounds, but I think that's what it is. Just keep believing in yourself and don't give up. Because this is that kind of industry where you feel like, okay, this is not working out, or this will never work out, or you feel like giving up a couple of times. But if you know that you have talent and you believe in yourself and you keep working hard, it's going to, if it's meant for you, it's going to happen. So just keep working hard, that's all.
Great. That was lovely and really insightful, Asas, and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
This is Smriti Sharma signing off with a promise to be back soon with another interesting episode of Spotlight with Smriti. Stay awesome.